Indoor, you are very muted.
Because it's not a show without tech difficulties.
We betrayed the Twitch witch.
There. Is that better? Can people hear me? Why is it? I blame the heat. Okay, so hello everybody, and welcome
Such a good intro too.
to the newest indoor adventure in One Shot Wednesdays. We are going to be playing a Kids on Bikes hack called Kids with Wands by Jordan of the Forgotten Realms Explained. He is going to be our headmaster for this evening as we get down in Hogwarts. There, you heard it. All of you in this chat heard it twice, so yay. Today is June 12th, 2019, and you are loved. And because it is Pride Month, I would like to let everybody know who is enjoying their Pride Month that we are proud of you. You guys are making the best choices that you can for yourself, because at the end of the day, nobody can tell you how to be you except you. So, other things to keep in mind: we do this show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at twitch.tv/indooradventures. We got an audio cast up, so if you want to catch out on any of our games but didn't exactly have the time for it, don't worry. You can check us out on anywhere audio casts are available. We also have all of our VODs uploaded at youtube.com/indooradventures, so if you are interested in this game and enjoyed it, maybe check out some other games as well. Other things to keep in mind: we do have a Patreon set up, so if you are interested in supporting the Patreon and getting access to the after show that we typically have called Nights in the Courtyard, you can go to patreon.com/indooradventures to check that out. And guys, did you know we have some sweet, sweet merch available? We got the Bigger Battler mug, which is 15 ounces of liquid holding goodness. We got the new Stomp Foot and Gore Blast Gymnasium t-shirts that also have the little dice home on the shoulder that actually looks very nice. I like it. Other than that, we also have posters, tank tops, which is really crucial for how warm it is. And when it gets colder, maybe you'll be interested in a sweatshirt. So consider checking that out. That is it for my merch spiel. So, without further ado, let's take it away. Cyberwolf, who are you playing this evening?
Hello, I am playing Matthew. I don't know about classes or anything in this game.
Just your
What's
house
your
is fine.
Hogwarts house?
Yeah.
My name is Matthew, and I am a Ravenclaw.
Are you Muggleborn?
Yes, I am Muggleborn.
Okay. I'm writing this down because I need to know.
Screaming.
Timmy Shake. All right. Jen, who are you playing this evening?
I'm playing Ellie McClare. She is of House Hufflepuff. And we're third years, right?
You're third years, yep.
Yeah, we're third years. And she's a pureblood.
Nice.
All right. Danae, who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Danae Cuter. I'm going to be playing Clemency Nettle tonight, and she is a Slytherin, and she too is a Muggleborn. Oh.
What is your name again?
Clemency Nettle.
Clemency.
Yep. You can just call her Clem.
Okay.
All right. And I am the indoor adventurer. Blech. The indoor adventurer, and tonight I will be playing Tabitha Horrose, a Ravenclaw. And I have my scarf, but it's just so very hot, and I'll be probably just dabbing at my forehead like a Southern belle throughout this entire episode. So, with that, Jordan, who are you playing tonight, and take us away? Oh, for you. I'm half-born, half Muggle,
Okay.
half wizard.
Sounds
Muggleborn?
good.
Half. My dad's a Muggle.
Mom's a witch.
Mum's a witch. Welcome everybody. My name is Jordan with a silent PH in the middle, and you can find me on Twitter or YouTube, and I do Forgotten Realms stuff. And I wrote this. So I really love Kids on Bikes, which is a fun game set in the weird 80s, like weird things that are the 80s. It's kind of like Stranger Things, the RPG, in all honesty. And it's a lot of fun. And I kept thinking about that. And I was watching Harry Potter one night, and the two kind of collided. And I'm like, why isn't there like a Harry Potter Kids on Bikes? So we're going to play Kids with Wands, which is a Hogwarts hack of Kids on Bikes. And specifically, we are going to be set in the 1985, I think. Yes. So it's 1985. It's 5 years after Harry's parents have passed away and Voldemort is like gone forever. Things are still going. So we still have the headmaster is Dumbledore. McGonagall is at there. Hagrid is at there. So the characters that you love are still at Hogwarts, even though it's in the past. But this is before. This is after Voldemort, before Voldemort, in the middle. Anyway. And to start with Kids on Bikes is we like to go around and ask questions, relationship questions, to see how you guys all know each other. So I'm going to roll a D4. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to be indoor.
Ooh.
So indoor, I want you to choose somebody, either Matthew, Ellie, or Clem, and you get to choose one of those three people.
I'm going to choose Matthew because we're both Ravenclaws.
All right. So is this a character you know or a character you don't know?
If we're third years and we're both in Ravenclaw, chances are we've at least like brushed shoulders a few times. So I would say that we know each other.
Okay. Now we're going to ask a relationship question between the two of you. Is this a positive or a negative relationship?
I would hope positive. However, I don't know how he feels about slovenly, neurotic people. So that is entirely up to him. I think it's positive.
Okay. No, this is your perspective
Okay,
too.
I
So
totally think
he might think it's negative, but if you want a positive relationship. So I want you to roll a D20 for me.
Okay. That is a 17.
17. What aspect of this character's personality do you try to use as a model for your own? So this is Matthew. So what aspect of Matthew's personality do you try to use as a model for your own?
So
And you kind of get to define stuff about Matthew here too, because that's part of the game, is that we're building this together.
okay. So I like his perseverance, that regardless of how many times people have proven him wrong, he still holds fast to his beliefs and he knows what's right. And as a free-spirited thinker, I really appreciate that.
Sweet. Admires, I'm writing this down, perseverance. That's awesome. And then I'm going to roll another D4, and we're going to ignore 1, and that is Jen. So Ellie. So Ellie, I want you to pick another character.
Okay. Probably Clemency.
All right, Clemency. So is this a character you know or you don't know?
I'll say I know.
Okay.
Maybe through herbology or potions or something like that.
I like it. I like it. Is this a positive relationship or a negative relationship?
Ellie sees it as very positive. I
Okay.
mean, Hufflepuffs and Slytherins, they tend to get along.
Roll a D20 for me.
14.
14. What is the bravest thing you've ever seen this character do?
Oh, speak in front of a crowd while I was just trying to gather up my little devil's snare and escape. She distracted them for me and I just ran away.
So she spoke in front of a large crowd. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming Ellie is quite shy.
Yeah, she doesn't like speaking in front of people. She just likes her little plants.
All right. Clemency. Oh, I should roll for it. Clemency. Choose a character. You're muted, by the way.
Yes, I clicked and it did not unclick. I'm gonna pick Tabitha.
Tabitha. Okay, so is this a character you know or you don't know?
I think Clemency knows Tabitha.
Okay, is it a positive or a negative relationship?
Um,
And you guys can still be friends and work together if it's negative. It's kind of like however you want to define. We've had 2 positives in a row. No pressure. You can pick whatever you
I
want.
feel like it's not a binary. It's on a sliding scale. I think that Clemency is jealous of Tabitha.
Okay, so it's a negative, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, roll a d20 for me.
All right. It's a 1.
Ooh, sweet. What did this character do in the past that you still resent them for?
Get sorted into Ravenclaw.
Ooh.
Because Clemency really wanted to be in Ravenclaw, and I think that Tabitha cut in line in front of her, and like, I think that she has kind of she's a little superstitious, so she thinks that Tabitha stole Ravenclaw away from her.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one. All right, and finally, Matthew, I want you to choose a character.
Is it L or Ellie? L. You are very muted.
Ellie, L or L. She doesn't care
Okay.
one way or the other.
Okay. I will pick L.
All right, L. Is this someone you know or someone you don't know?
I'm going to say that I don't know her.
Okay, roll a d20 for me.
7.
7. Why was your only brief interaction with this character so positive?
So, my favorite book is Hogwarts: A History, and I've read it 4 times. But sometime between my second and third one, something changed about the book. This is real. I know it. And I've only confronted one person about it, and that was Tabitha. But just while we were studying, not next to each other, but just like near each other in the Great Hall, you were also flipping through the book, and you're just like, I don't remember this being here. And so I'm just like, I'm not the only one.
Excellent. I like it. I like it. Okay. Cool. All right. So I should have been writing that down while you were talking. My bad. Live stuff. It's all good.
L may be a possible conspiracy theorist along with Matthew. Yes, Matthew has a theory.
Saw something in Hogwarts history. Awesome, possum. Okay, so now that we've kind of defined our characters a little bit, I also want to say that even though you guys might like Elle and Matthew don't really know each other, you guys go to the same school. You probably have run into each other, even though you might not be friends, and that helps. And even though you're from different houses, you all probably want to go on an adventure together to kind of facilitate the running of this. Also, I should say that Kids on Bikes has a really good system of rewind, stop, fast forward. So it's if I am doing anything that, or if anybody is doing anything that is uncomfortable, and you're just like, I don't really like this scene, I don't really want to play it out, you can say stop, and we'll stop and we'll talk about like, oh, okay, this is what's bothering you, we'll go on. Or you can say stop and like, I just want to rewind, I don't want to talk about it. We rewind, that scene never happened. Or we fast forward and we say that scene did happen, but we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to role play it out. We're just kind of going to go to the future. And so that makes sure everybody's safe. And so feel free to use stop, rewind, and fast forward anytime you want if we're getting too heavy and too crazy, but it's a bunch of silly kids at Hogwarts, so we probably will be okay. Who here plays Quidditch? Any of you? We got 3 no's, 4 no's.
Bunch of nerds.
No, and that's completely fine. Go ahead, Endor. You were going to say something?
I was going to say Tabitha's afraid of heights. Like, brooms in general are not her shtick.
Nice. All right, so we're going to start with you guys are at the Quidditch fields. And there is a Quidditch game going on between, we'll say, Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. And you guys are in the stands, except maybe Tabitha doesn't like to be that high up, I assume.
No. Like, at the lowest of the stands, if possible.
The lowest? Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys are watching this active game happen, and the ball's going back and forth, and the snitch is flying around, and you guys are cheering on your classmates, and you're really, really excited for all of this stuff. When everybody, I've forgotten my roles. I've got like books open all over the place. I'm really good Dungeon Master, guys, just so you know.
This is just like me.
Book smart, Braun. Sorry, I'm reading because I'm trying to remember what I did for perception checks in the past. Everybody roll flight for me. And how this works is you guys will take the die that your flight is. So it might be a D4, it might be a D20 or something in between. You're gonna roll that. If it hits the maximum number, that die explodes and you'll roll it again. So if you have a D6 in flight and you roll a 6, you roll it again and add on top of what you got. So it'd be like 6 plus 4 or something like that. So we'll start with you, Tabitha. What did you get?
I got a 5.
Okay. And Clemency?
I got an 18.
Nice. And Matthew?
I rolled a 10 and then an 8, so an 18.
Okay, so you got an 18 as well. And Elle?
I got a 6.
All right. So Elle and Tabitha, you guys, Tabitha, you might be a little, even though you're only probably like 4 or 5 feet off the ground, it's a little too high for you, and you're just not paying attention. And Elle, you're also kind of distracted by the game and things going on. But Matthew and Clemency, you guys hear kind of like a snapping underneath the stands that you're sitting on, and you feel like a rumble, like the whole kind of it. Not an intense shake, but like a little bit of a shake of this thing. So of that you're sitting on. What would you like to do?
Is Tabitha like next to, I assume that Tabitha would be near me.
Sure.
Tabitha can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Tabitha, did you feel that?
Feel what?
Oh god. There's a rumble from. I don't know. It feels like something's wrong.
Of course it's wrong. Look at how high off the ground we are.
I feel like there's, I don't know, something underneath us.
You think it could be like a plant?
Do I think it could be a plant?
Roll brains for me.
8.
8? No. And so when you fail a roll, sorry, and I should have also done this, Tabitha and Elle, when you fail a roll, you take an adversity token.
Okay.
And adversity tokens can be spent on rolls. So in the, you bank adversity tokens. So let's say I failed 4 rolls, I have 4 adversity tokens. I can then roll my D20 and say I got like a 12, but I need a 14 in order to pass the success. I can spend adversity tokens to make that a 14. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do we start with any adversity tokens?
You start with 0 adversity tokens. You only get them when you fail rolls.
Okay.
So Matthew, you failed that roll. But you also believe that it is not anything plant-based underneath you. You're pretty sure that something like the wood might be rotting out underneath you is kind of what you get a sense.
I think the wood might be rotting out from underneath us.
Oh God!
And she just like,
Let's
I'm jumping off the side.
off the side.
Well, like, we're only like 4 feet off the ground, right?
Okay.
As you jump off, I want you to roll brawn.
Oh God. What is brawn?
Or actually grit. Grit is a better one.
I'm much better at grit than I am at brawn. Yeah. Okay, that explodes. So 12 total.
Oh, 12. Yeah. So you land and just superhero pose, like perfect. And where do you want to go? Do you want to take off running, or are you just standing there?
I am I'm gonna see, just like from my standing point now, if the thing is actually shaking or not, because I can look at it from the side and see if there's any movement.
Correct. It is shaking, and you also see that there is smoke billowing out underneath the like tents in front of you. There's like a bunch of smoke that's coming out. Clemency and Elle, what are you guys doing on this this rickety shaking thing, watching the game above you? Nobody else seems to really have noticed this yet, and the game is still going on. Like they're very tied into the game, but yeah.
I think as soon as Clemency noticed that something was wrong, she started looking around to see if anybody else noticed, and then saw that Matthew was figuring it out, and then just watched Tabitha dive off the side. And she was all like, she does not deserve the Ravenclaw colors. And she's gonna stand up and say, "It's going down!"
Okay, and everyone looks at you, and they're very like what? And they're kind of confused.
The stand is going down! Everybody jump!
And they're like, and they start running off. And as they do that, it's like almost like a crack within the stands, and flames start shooting out the top. But these are not your typical flames. They're magical, and they're black. And these black flames are billowing up between the stands as people are jumping off the front. You, are you jumping as well, or are you running somewhere else, Clemency?
I'm gonna go for the stairs first.
Okay.
If they haven't been like, swarmed, but
yeah.
I'm gonna be a little bit, try to be a little smarter about it than just jumping off the side. Like either stairs or like grab onto a tabard or something.
Elle, what are you doing?
I'm following Tabitha because the stairs might be blocked by fire.
Okay. I want you to make a grit roll as well as you jump off the top of this thing. 4. So take an adversity token. So make sure you mark that you have that. As you drop down, you twist your ankle. And definitely, so you're going to be moving at about half the speed that you normally move until you can go to the medicine wing and get that healed up. And Tabitha is there kind of like wide-eyed. Matthew, what are you doing?
I was also going to follow Tabitha.
All right, roll grit for me.
7.
You also take an adversity token, and we'll say when you land, you fall, you do one of those like where you try to do the superhero pose, but you land on your knees and then fall flat on your nose, and you get up and you've got like quite the bloody nose at the moment. Behind you, the entire stadium that you guys were all sitting on collapses down, and the game has stopped now because everyone's just eyes on all of this huge piles of smoke or pillars of smoke that are coming out of the stands. And a figure creeps out of the stands, and it looks like a giant spider, but it is wreathed in black flame, and it is about the size of an elephant that comes walking towards you guys. And now I want everybody to roll grit to see how they deal with this emotional, scary thing in front of them.
I deal with it 7.
7. Okay, you're looking for an 8 or higher. 5.
So
4.
12 plus 1, so explode.
Yeah, oh, that's great. So you got a 13?
Yes.
Okay, so
brave.
Elle is very brave with her twisted ankle, and she can't get away. So she realizes that she needs to turn back and maybe face this thing head on because she can't run away from it. The rest of you guys kind of sprint away for a little bit. You have a giant fire tarantula in front of you. What do you want to do?
Oh, I know water spell because I use it to water my plants. Because I get lazy and there's about 100 plants in my dormitory, so I'm just like, water it. And I'll use the water spell to see if I can.
Aguamente.
Yeah, there we go. Aguamente.
Sounds good.
Shout it at the top of my lungs.
I'm trying to decide. I need to look up if that is a charm. I think that's transfiguration.
Yes, maybe?
Because you're like conjuring things. Yeah. So
Yes.
go ahead and roll. Transfiguration is brawn. So roll brawn for me.
Oh, goody. 3.
3. So a spout of water comes out, hits this tarantula in the face. Steam comes shooting off. You think you have the right idea with this water spell, like it might work, but you were not nearly powerful enough for it to do any major harm. And the spider now looks at you and is approaching you at a pretty steady pace. What are the rest of you guys doing as your friend Elle seems to be one-on-one with a spider?
I mean, do we notice that it's Elle?
Yeah.
I'm as much as I'm afraid of the spider, I'm gonna go try to see if I can get Elle out of there because she knows the truth.
Okay.
I think Clem was actually in the front of the crowd running away, and then heard Elle speaking, and Elle is literally her only friend. So she's going to curse and try to sneak around and see if there's something that she can do without being seen by the spider.
Okay. So yeah, you do that. You sneak around. What are you trying to do not being seen? Because the spider's very like focused on Elle now because Elle distracted it with that Aguamente water spell.
Is there like some rubble or something that I could like shift onto the spider?
Like with magic or?
Yeah, I'm a weak little girl. I don't think I can push it. With magic.
Well, so you're in the stadium, but there is debris from the stadium that has collapsed. So the grounds are grass, but you could probably try and shift some of that rubble over with your magic. Yeah, roll charm for me.
Okay.
You're looking for a 10 or higher.
Oh shit. I was like, I'm not terrible at that. 4.
4. Okay, so take an adversity token. You move some of the rubble over from the thing, and it grabs onto its leg. Like you get about one leg, but then as it touches it, it just melts away from that fire, and that black flame is just roaring. About this time, you see a couple of professors running towards you guys, waving their arms, trying to like not sure what to do, like get your attention. And behind you, Clemency, you're a Slytherin, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You see a Hufflepuff prefect who comes also running out from the stands, probably took the same stairs down that you did, and is running out from there. And she's just like, what is happening? Like wide-eyed, like I'm supposed to be protecting students, but this is ridiculous kind of a thing. And she's a little frozen in her place. What is Tabitha and Matthew doing?
Matthew is running to get Elle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to try and give you some time. So I want to see if I can Wingardium Leviosa the spider itself to try and like pick it up so that way it loses momentum heading towards my friend.
It's pretty big, so that's going to be like a DC 13, we'll say.
That's totally fair.
Okay, if you want to try it, go right ahead.
All right. So using charms is that's a brains, right?
No, charms is charm.
Okay, charms is charm. Got it. So let us go for broke on this. That's a 3.
Woo!
And using an adversity token will only give me a +2, right?
If that is the path you took, because it gives you a +1 unless you took a specific.
Oh no,
strength.
definitely not.
Okay, so then you get +1. Yeah, adversity token.
Okay, yeah, I won't use the adversity token, but I rolled a 3.
All right, so you cast your spell. Matthew, just as you reach Elle, you grab her hand to like stop her from, or to pull her back and whatnot. She lifts into the air as you are like being propelled up by some kind of spell.
Well, this is weird. Okay. Hi.
As Tabitha's spell has lifted her up.
Okay, so is Elle out of the reach of the spider?
For now, we'll say yes.
Okay.
as she is, we'll say, a good 20 feet in the air.
Okay, Matthew is unassuming, which means I would be able to spend 2 adversity tokens to be unseen.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
same hat.
So, can I, seeing that Elle is now out of the way, just like duck behind something and become unseen?
Yes, that's exactly how that works. So spend 2 adversity tokens, and you describe it to me. Where do you go? How do you hide?
So like the bleachers that caved in that the spider came out of. I'm assuming that's part of the like big Quidditch ring. So I guess I'm just like ducking behind the tent of another one that is not on Black Flame.
Okay, yeah. And I should say that Kids on Bikes is a lot of co-narrative. So a lot of times if you succeed in a dice roll, I'll let you guys narrate how you like succeeded, unless it was like by a narrow margin or you just made it kind of a thing. But the more, like if the DC is 5 and you succeed by 18, that's a major success, and you can narrate it like I was amazing and I did all this really great stuff. But if the DC was 5 and you got it by 6, that's a really narrow success, but it still counts as a success. So you kind of, you can gauge how well you did via the numbers. So you are hiding. Elle is currently 20 feet into the air. Tabitha put Elle 20 feet into the air. Clemency, you've got a prefect Hufflepuff behind you that doesn't know what's going on, and some professors running towards you.
This entire time, Clemency's been trying to explain to the prefect what's happening, and then Elle just starts floating over her shoulder, and then she turns around, she's like, Tabitha! God, how could this possibly get any worse? Does the prefect appear to gonna be like she's gonna be any help at all?
She could be help if you want to try and roll charm maybe and snap some sense into her with a really awesome speech. But right now she's just like dumbfounded, like she doesn't know what's going on.
I sure would like to try.
Okay.
Okay. 8.
8 is a success. So yeah, what do you say to her? How does it work? Do you slap her? Like
I mean, I think so. I think that, well, like, probably not across the face, but like just start swatting her on the arm, just like, do something.
And she's like, oh, right. Patronus, the Patronus charm. And she puts her wand forward and says, Expecto Patronum. And it's like, bah, 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 and like a little like puff of Patronus comes out, but not the whole thing. And she's just like, this is a lot larger than this is really big. And she's just kind of confused like that. Tabitha, what are you doing?
Tabitha is going to try and move Elle if she can, because like,
yeah,
just like at an angle away, she has to focus pretty much everything that she's doing, so she's kind of just like standing in front of this spider as it's charging.
No, you can definitely move Elle. Where do you want to move Elle?
Just like off to the side by about 10-15 feet or so, and then set on the ground so that way she can start getting out. And it's out of like a direct pathway that this spider's taking.
Okay, yeah. For sure. The spider is kind of confused as a lot of stuff is happening around it, and it's like looking left and right. And it starts taking off towards the 2 professors that are running towards you guys, which you now see in view is Professor McGonagall and your Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, Gregory Crismere. So Gregory and McGonagall, Crismere and McGonagall are running towards you, and this spider sees them and just rears its like flame back and starts running towards them.
Oh no. As I stand up, that's not very nice. And I'll point my wand at the spider and say, Petrifex Ductalis.
Nice. That would be, I think, a Defense Against the Dark Arts spell. So have you roll Fight.
Fight. Okay. It's a 4.
A 4 will not do it. So it slows for a little bit as your magic hits it, and then it breaks through and starts charging again. So take an adversity token.
Okay. There we go.
Your professors are assumingly in danger. What do you guys want to do?
Um,
I'm not very strong. I don't know how to do magic very well.
So while I'm hiding beneath the stands, can I like start flipping through some Care of Magical Creatures or whatever books and see if like do I know what this is?
Yeah, you can do that. It's going to be a real tough brains check because you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to say like DC 15.
Okay. 4, 5.
Okay. So you get the sensation that is a good idea, and maybe if you weren't so panicked, you could definitely find some information about it, but not right now. Take an adversity.
Calm down. Nobody's rewriting history right now. It's fine. It's just a big spider. Just a big flamey spider.
Oh my god.
The water seemed to do some work. You also remember the Hufflepuff prefect said something about a Patronus charm. You guys are third years, so you have studied the Patronus charm a little bit.
Okay, I didn't know if the rest of us had overheard the Patronus.
That's a good question. Go ahead, Clemency.
I'm intuitive, so can I spend an adversity token to know who among us would be the best at casting the Patronus spell?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And that's going to be it's either a charm. So it works as a charm, and it's also defense against the dark arts. So it would be charm and fight. And who has the highest in charm and fight between the four of you?
I have a 12 for.
I have a 12 in fight.
Charm.
Okay. Well, I'm much more inclined to ask for help from Matthew. So, if he's not still hiding.
He is still hiding.
Oh, in that case, God.
You may have seen him like duck in there though.
All right. I'm gonna run over to Tabitha and be all like, "Do you know the Patronum spell?"
I've been practicing it a little bit.
Okay, use it on the spider.
Expecto Patronum! And I'll try and cast it for that Scott. That is a 10.
A 10?
Yes.
Okay. You succeed. What does your Patronus look like?
It's a really happy bat.
Sweet.
It's just a really large, happy, like, flat-nosed bat.
Yeah.
Your Patronus flies out, hits this spider in its side, or how big does it get? I guess I should let you describe it. Like, what does this look like?
It is about, I would say it gets to be about like 2 feet wingspan from tip to tip, and then lengthwise is probably about, I want to say like less than a foot, because it still needs to be able to propel itself, but it's just, it has like a very wide smile on it. Like it just looks almost like a cartoonish smiling bat that just would probably give a goofy yuck if it could make noise.
Nice. And it slams into this spider, and the spider rolls down on its side as it like crunches into the ground, and it does one of those like ground skids where the dirt like piles up around it as it like skids down. And your professors immediately point their wands at it, and water shoots out of their wands and just like sizzles this thing to steam everywhere, and smoke and soot come flying off of everything. And they do a heavy dose of water, and then when they stop, it's like completely empty, except there's a big scorch mark where the spider used to be. And your professors run up to you, and you see Gregory Krismer, and he's just like, children, are you all right?
We are, thanks to you, Professor.
Is it gone?
It's gone. You can come out now, Matthew.
No, come out.
Okay. Do you know where that came from? Did one of you conjure this?
I came from beneath the stands. I felt something rumble, but I didn't see anything before that.
And the Hufflepuff prefect will walk over, and she's a little like shaken, but she's gaining composure, and she's just like, Professor, I think I better take care of the rest of it, because it's kind of just mass chaos with the rest of it. Like, people are gawking at you, and she's like, well, perhaps we should have them return to their dormitories for the time being. I'll lead. And so she wanders off to go take care of some of the Hufflepuffs and what have you. What do you get? Yeah, bye. What do you guys want to do?
Elle, are you all right?
Al, are you okay? Like, shoves Matthew out of the way.
Oh, I'm okay, Clemency. You're the conspiracy guy, right?
It's not a conspiracy.
Oh, no, I don't mean to offend. I just think it was pretty cool. I heard it. I think you're right.
You think I'm right?
Mm-hmm.
You think
Oh.
you think somebody went back in history and made it so that before bathrooms in Hogwarts, people just like, well, you know.
I mean, yeah. Yes.
To be fair, she believes everybody. She believes my predictions, and nobody believes my predictions.
Well, your predictions are very good, Clemency.
Yes, I know.
Oh, Tabitha. I know we don't talk very much, but you did a really good job.
Huh? And I'm just like digging through rubble, because I'd like to be using my treasure hunter strength to spend an adversity point to find a useful item.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Rubble is dangerous. Get away from there.
It's fine. It's on the ground.
You have no survival instincts.
Not at all. All right.
You spend an adversity token to do that.
Yeah.
You don't find anything in the rubble, but where the spider was, you walk over, and there is a small, about the size of my fist, a small wooden spider. Dark black wood.
Picking that up.
Okay.
Just gonna hang on to it for now. I don't know what this is about.
Are we being ushered anywhere, or have we just been left to our own devices?
The professors kind of told you that you guys need to, like, if you're fine, probably take Elle to the medical wing to get her foot checked out. But for right now, there's no rush if you guys want to investigate the scene of the crime.
We have a bonus to not doing what adults tell us to do.
That's true.
Oh. Neat. Yeah, if Matthew sees Tabitha looking around, he knows to trust her, so he's gonna start seeing if he can find anything as well.
Okay.
Just like looking around the area.
Yeah. Roll brains for me as you're gonna be looking around, see what you can find.
4.
4. Take an adversity token. You don't find anything out of the ordinary because there is a bunch of scorch marks underneath the tent where all the rubble is and stuff. And then as far as that, it's just kind of chaos, and you're not really sure.
Okay. Did either of you notice anything before the sands erupted?
Just Tabitha jumping off the side. That was kind of weird.
I mean, we thought that the sands were about to cave in. Tabitha.
No, it was smart in the end. Just weird.
Weird is one way to say it.
And McGonagall walks up to you guys and says, well, I think I don't do a good McGonagall voice. I'm sorry, guys.
It's all right.
My British accent is awful. But she's like, well, children, I need you to return to the Grand Hall where you guys eat dinner and stuff, the main hall. She's like, I want you to return to the main hall. Dumbledore should have some information about this, but we want to make sure everybody's safe. Is there anybody who can take young Elle to the medical ward first before you all meet at the Grand Hall?
I can do it.
I'll do it.
I think they all should do it. I mean,
Matthew.
Kind of look confused. Actually.
Friendship is competitive.
Very well. And she kind of looks over at Elle, and you don't look terribly hurt, but your suggestion of like everybody should help me, and she's like, very fine. The three of you take Elle to the medical wing, and then I want you into the hall after that.
okay, Professor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then she turns and walks off, and her and Gregory, the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, are like talking, and they're like looking back at the scorch marks, and then they're kind of whispering between the two of each other as they walk on. Back to Hogwarts Castle. Are you guys going back to the castle or no?
When I see that the adults have left, I'm gonna come over, just kind of like cradling something in my coat. Just,
Guys, I found this.
and she just shows you this dark wooden spider. For me, visual descriptions help for characters. So, what do you guys look like as well? I know Tabitha is like 5'5", sandy blonde hair, kind of tied back. She has hazel eyes and very, very large glasses that are wire framed. Usually unkempt.
Matthew is like 5'6". His hair's like sort of parted and pushed back a little bit. It's like sandy brown hair. That's all I got.
That's great.
I'm imagining a Don Bluth character. You know that haircut that all the Don Bluth dudes have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ellie's just 5'5", has brown glasses, curly black hair, deep brown skin, freckles across her cheeks, and dark brown eyes. Just holding a little potted plant.
What kind of a plant?
It's a devil's snare that she always keeps with her because it never gets bigger than this little potted plant, and she can't figure out why.
Nice. I love it.
Does it have a name?
Yes, it is. It's called Mousy.
Aw.
Clemency has long ash blonde hair and gray eyes. And yeah, that's about it. It's long and straight, and she has a tendency to kind of like hide behind her hair a little bit until she has to like, do any sort of public speaking. Then she puts that hair behind her ears and puts on a different face.
All right. I like it.
I found this over where all the scorch marks were.
I'll just kind of hold up the dark wooden spider.
You think we should give it to the professors?
Does it look familiar to any of us?
Everybody roll. Jeez, forgetting what you guys can roll. Roll brains for me, and you guys can see if
God.
Brains.
you're looking for a 10 or higher.
17.
20.
What?
5.
3.
All right, adversity tokens for you two.
Ravenclaw.
Tabitha and Matthew, bunch of smarties, smart Ravenclaws. Yeah.
Craw.
So,
Happy birthday, Mitty Falcon.
This is definitely handmade. Somebody took this and like whittled it. It's not good. It's not like a pristine kind of thing. Somebody whittled this thing, but it looks like a spider. It's made from a really dark black wood that will say, Tabitha, you recognize this as ironwood, which is not, it's a really dense, heavy wood in the magical world. And Matthew, you get the sensation that this is probably some kind of like dark magic. And you can probably get more information from the forbidden section of the library. But as far as the books you currently have and things like that, not really sure what it's used for other than this is some kind of dark spell.
Would we get the sense that the library that we would be able to hit it up on the way from the hospital or going to there?
Well, the professors did want you in the Grand Hall. You can defy that and try to go to the library. You might be met with some resistance, but you're more than welcome to roleplay that resistance out. Hence the game.
I was just thinking like geographically. Is it physically like on the way?
No, probably not, but you could make it on the way. Like
Okay.
you could, if you want to go there, you definitely could. And I don't know if third years, I think you need written permission to get to the forbidden section.
I think everybody might need forbidden. Not that stopped Matthew before.
Yes.
I need to know about time travel magic. We need to get to the hospital, obviously, but I don't know. This is some kind of dark magic. I don't know if it didn't seem like the teachers really knew what this was all about. Could we might be able to find something out in the library.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to go there or go to the hospital, see if we can get your foot checked out?
Well, get my foot checked out and then go to the library. I mean, if we have to run from another spider, I don't want to be slow.
Right. Okay, let's get you there then.
Okay.
All right, and you guys hobble over. Probably, Elle, you probably have somebody underneath both arms and walking you to the room. Tabitha's on lookout for spiders, like back and forth.
Oh yeah, just I got my eye out for this now. I know what's up.
And you guys make it to the hospital ring just fine. They walk in. You guys walk in, and there is kind of a not overweight, but like heavy set nurse there who's just like, oh darlings, oh what's going, oh come in, sit, let's see what's going on. Immediately runs over to Tabitha and starts like, oh okay, what's wrong? Is there
I'm fine.
anything? You're fine.
I'm fine.
Why are you here?
And I point at Matthew, who probably has blood on the front of his shirt from where he hit his nose, and I point at Elle.
Just they're the injured ones.
Of course. And she walks over and she uses her wand and she's like, is it broken now? And goes to you, Matthew, and kind of like massages your nose.
I don't think so.
And she waves a magic, and Jordan doesn't know a good nose fixing spell off the top of his head, even though I think it's in the movies.
Episky.
There we go. Thank you. And yeah, you hear your nose like go, and all of a sudden an intense pain, and then you feel euphoria as your nose is back and set into place and no longer bleeding.
Oh.
And she goes to Elle and she's like, oh, sit down. And she sits down and she kind of takes your shoe. And she's like, oh, we should leave this shoe on. And she uses her wand as well and casts another spell, and your leg clicks back into place, or your ankle, I should say. And you are now healed as well. An intense, a bit of pain, and then euphoria as you realize your ankle is no longer swollen and yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
What brave kids to receive such an injury. Are you Quidditch players?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
I would never be caught dead on that broom.
Professor, I'm doing a paper on, plants and medicine, but there's a book in the forbidden section I need. Can I get some written permission to get in there?
Well, I'm just a nurse. I'm not really a professor, so perhaps you would want to take that up with Professor Krins. I can never remember his name, and I named him. I'm the worst person.
Prismere.
Professor Krismere.
Where is Professor Prismere?
He is probably in his study, maybe, or he might be in the Grand Hall. I'm not sure. I think Dumbledore's called a meeting.
We haven't heard about the meeting, but thank you.
You're very welcome.
I can't.
Well, now
believe
be off, unless you guys want to talk to her some more. Or...
every single one of you is told a lie, and I'm supposed to be the Slytherin.
Bye.
As we're walking out, I would like to attempt to cast Scourgify to clean Matthew's clothes.
Okay. Is that...
It just says used to clean objects.
Sure. We'll say roll a d20, because it's just like common magic.
Okay. So that is a 12.
12, you totally do it. And the blood like evaporates off of his shirt.
Oh, thank you, Tabitha.
We're only supposed to grow bacteria where it needs to be grown, and that's not on your clothes.
What? Literally what?
We're growing bacteria, for potions.
Right.
Components.
We
Sure.
need to go to the library. We need to figure out what this thing was.
Are you planning on getting any sort of written permission for that tough guy, or?
Not exactly.
Mm-hmm. All right.
If we went to the hall, the most professors would actually be there.
See, I've asked professors for written permission 4 times. They've said no every time. They said no. There's no such thing as time travel magic except for time turners, which are highly restricted and don't go back that far.
So, I have a question. Is Snape the current potions master, or is it a different potions master?
Let's say that he is, just to
Okay.
go along with it.
So, I would like to see if I can get written permission from him as a top-notch potion student to possibly look at forbidden potions, just out of sheer curiosity, because I have as one of my strengths skilled at, and then I put potion making because I didn't know if it was potion making or brains. So
well, you would roll brains to have potion making, but I would probably give you like a plus to have potions, kind of a thing. So,
yeah. So
yeah, that works. If that's something you want to do, you can explain that to your party.
Yeah.
Well, I've made some pretty difficult potions before, and I'm really trying to step up my game with this. I could just ask if we could possibly, or if I could get a letter of passage to go to the forbidden section to look at, some more deadly concoctions. Well, not deadly. Maybe a little deadly.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Clem is gonna light a match and just watch it burn down, and
What are you,
she's
a
gonna look at
psychopath? What's going on?
no, she's
Spider-Man Noir in Hogwarts. That's what this is.
sometimes I just let the match burn down to my fingers so I can feel anything. No, she's trying to read a fire omen to see if Tabitha is going to be successful in this.
Okay, divinancy or
Divination.
divination. All right, yeah. Go ahead and roll. Divination is flight.
That's right. I'm super good. Oh, god damn it. The unfortunate thing about D20s is that they still have ones on them.
Yep.
But I've got a +2, so it's a 3.
3. But you still rolled a 1. So we're going to say that you're like intensely watching this match while the other 3 of them are having a conversation. And then you're just like, ow!
Yeah,
and like you
horns all the
startle
way down.
everybody as they're all like, we were talking about Snape and going to potions. And you're just like, I burned my finger.
Yeah, it's just ow.
You're right, Clemency.
I'm gonna go with Tabitha and make sure she doesn't screw this up.
Okay.
Because I'm taking this as a bad omen.
All right.
So I guess we're going to the Great Hall.
Yes.
Are you going to the Great Hall or are you going to Snape's office?
I think the teachers are in the Great Hall, right? That's what we were told.
You don't know for sure, but
Is Snape's office, like, is that at a median point between the Great Hall and the...
sure, we'll
Okay.
say that it is.
Yeah.
If you want it to be.
Well, yeah,
It's wibbly wobbly.
Sure. It's a magic school. You can have...
Secret passages.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll see if Snape's in when
Okay.
we're on our way.
Yeah, you get to his office and you knock on it. And you hear some like scuttling around, and then the door opens and you see Snape standing in front of you, and he's like, yes.
Hello, Professor. I was wondering, I've been doing some experimentation on my off time because I'm really passionate about my work, sir. And I was wondering if I could possibly get a letter saying that I could go into the forbidden section of the library, because I'm pretty sure that the old mages had a very good idea about how much phosphorus you're supposed to measure into your invisibility potions. I can't be sure until I get those old books.
Now, my question for 4 young third-year students is, why are you not in the Great Hall when Dumbledore has had a meeting of all students in the school?
Elle sprained her ankle when we were running away from a giant flame spider, and Matthew busted his nose when he jumped off the sidewalls.
Is that not over yet? We thought that was done.
The restricted section. What potion are you trying to make?
I am trying to currently, sir, make a potion that will allow anybody, and I mean anybody, to be able to play music.
You need the restricted section for this.
Well, they don't let anybody learn how to play the tunes.
Roll charm. We'll say DC 4 because you're such a good potion.
Ha ha! 4 on the dice, and +1 because I'm a Ravenclaw.
Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, you do this. What does it look like? Does he? Well, we can just like role play it out. Too.
I would assume that like she's just kind of looking at him and just,
We're trying to form a band.
We're all really good friends.
Yes. Very well. And he takes out a quill and some parchment, and he writes down that Tabitha and et al. Can like trying to sort a band, blah blah blah, sign Servius Snape, and he rolls it up and he's like, "This should get you, but only for 1 week. Do you have access?"
I'll be sure to take especially good notes then, sir.
Very well. Now get out of here before I have to deduct points from all of your houses.
See you tomorrow, Professor.
and she just turns around and just begins booking it. She loves Snape.
Okay.
He's a great guy to her.
Mm-mm.
Bye.
So yeah, we have the writ of passage.
Great Hall?
No, library.
That's still going on. We should go to the library.
Oh my god, but if he
I
doesn't
don't
see me
understand
there.
any of you.
Well, what do you think we should do, Clemency?
No. Just I hang out with Ravenclaws and Hufflepuffs, so I don't have to deal with this shit. Okay. No,
Clemency.
fine. That's fine. We can go to the library. I'm a team player.
You're the best, Clemency.
I know.
All right, you guys navigate to the library. You get the sensation now that the meeting is probably done, as some of the students are in the hallway as you guys are walking down through the hallway again, and you're just like, oh, like they must be out. And they're all talking about like, yeah, apparently we're not supposed to go to the Forbidden Forest. Like, not that I would go there anyway. I mean, it's called the Forbidden Forest, and you kind of overhear a little bit of murmur about that. And
We need to go to meetings.
you go into the library, and as you're walking into the library, who's leading charge? Who's in front? Tabitha. Tabitha, you are talking over your head, kind of like to your friends behind you. They're like, yeah, we got to go to the forbidden section. I got this written note. And you walk flat into that same Hufflepuff prefect that you saw before on the field. And she's walking out of the library.
Oh, my apologies.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was looking for the professor, Professor Krismir, the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, but he wasn't in the library like I thought he would be.
Why would he be in the library?
Well, I thought that maybe he was researching about that black spider that we saw.
Doesn't he have his own books?
Oh, he
Wasn't
probably
he
does.
supposed-
You're right. I should check his office. And she hurriedly like runs away.
Wait,
Bye.
What?
I didn't catch your name.
Oh, it's Jane, and she just takes off.
Bye, Jane.
Jane's not very nice.
She's your prefect. Is
I don't
she
like
always
her.
like this?
Kinda. But I don't
And yeah,
talk
Elle,
to
you
her.
would know that Jane is a 7th year prefect, so she's top class.
I don't talk to her. She's a bit out there for me.
Oh,
And pull out a big book of Hogwarts history and hand it to Matthew. I highlighted all the inconsistencies.
Which is like 30 pages, 100 pages. How many inconsistencies did Elle highlight?
Oh, well over 100.
Okay.
look at J.K. Rowling's Twitter over the last 2 years. Oh, I'm not alone.
Nope.
I'm gonna throw some fortune sticks over Jane's name because I'm suspicious of her.
Okay. Yeah, roll divination again, which is flight.
All right, how about a 17?
17, yeah. So what are you looking for? You're suspicious of her, but what do your divinations say? Because you succeed.
I want to know if, like, I want to know if she's a deceitful person. Because I feel like divination doesn't give you very specific stuff.
Yeah.
I think that it just gives you, like, you know, ooh, you can interpret it anyway.
Mhm.
And then, like, you know, the diviner makes up specific stuff based on that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're deceitful, like I am. So
You know, we'll say you know of her previously, and that she has never been a deceitful person. She's never, like, she doesn't lie. Like, she's a prefect for a reason. Like, she's very responsible and things like that. But her future is cloudy. Like, it's really difficult to get a positive, negative kind of vibe from that, which you find a little bit off. Like, normally it's like, if somebody's like, okay, they're going to graduate, they're going to go to, you know, they're going to get a job, they're going to start a family, they're going to do this. Like, you can kind of see that, but all of her future is just really cloudy. Like, it's difficult to see what she's going to do.
all right, Clem's just off in the corner, kind of muttering to herself about Jane and her cloudy future, and how uncertain it is, and how disconcerting that is. Mutter, mutter, mutter.
And the rest of you guys walk into the library, I presume.
Yeah.
There is a older librarian that lives in the library, not lives in the library, but is in the library. And he sees you guys walk up to him, and I'm assuming you walk up to him with the paper in hand, kind of a thing. And he's like, yes, children. What is it?
Oh, we have written permission to use the forbidden section, sir.
No, nobody can do the forbidden section. I mean, no teacher of their right mind would do. Oh, Snape. All right. Hands the letter back. It looks like you have access for a week. I want all those books. You can read them in the forbidden section, but you don't be stealing any. You can't take them out of the library.
Well, do you have paper, sir? Paper and ink?
Paper.
I need
I
to
got
take
paper
notes.
as
You
I
bring
pull
your own
some
quill
out.
and ink? What kind of a student are you?
We just came from a Quidditch game, sir.
Make a charm roll. I don't know.
A 5.
A 5. You go get your own ink and parchment. This here's for my novel that I'm working on, and I'm not going to give it up.
What's your
Pulled up
novel
some
about?
paper for Tabitha.
Novel's about Hogwarts, but the future. It's a sequel to the history of Hogwarts. It's called Hogwarts: A Future.
Oh my god. That appeals to everyone's interests.
And you see that he goes back, and he's got like parchment and a quill and ink. And then on the other side, Clemency, you notice that he's got some like pig entrails that he's like reading the future with, and he's like looking at those, and then he like writes down some more of his book, and he's like getting a future of Hogwarts. in some weird fashion. But yeah, I love this game. This is great.
All right, so I will lead us to the forbidden section.
Okay, you guys go on in. It's spooky. What are you looking for? There's lots of books here.
Something.
So Matthew is intuitive. So I would like to use these, start looking through the books, and I want to know what this spider is, and I would spend an adversity token to be able to ask you questions.
Okay, ask away.
First off, is asking like what the spider is that too direct?
Well, I kind of gave it to you earlier that you know that this is used in some kind of dark magic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably, if you said, what is this spider? I would say probably the same thing. Like it's used in some kind of dark spell. Would you like, if something more specific, I could give you a more specific.
What is the purpose of conjuring the spider?
Okay. Okay. So you find a book that kind of details out not how the spell is cast, but that there is an antithesis to the Patronus charm. And this spell specifically is called Tenebris Ignis. Or Ignis, sorry. Tenebris Ignis. And it's, whereas the Patronus charm is defensive and protects you, this is like the opposite of it, where it summons a creature that is offensive and destructive. And so you think that somebody's been messing around with this spell, and that they're conjuring, they're conjuring these black flamed creatures, or attempted it at one time.
Okay, and I'll share this with the rest of the group.
T. Patronus.
You know, they could defend the school with one of these. As I flip a book open.
No, the exact opposite. No, the Patronuses are supposed to defend. This one does the opposite of defense.
Make a bunch of explosions.
It's like offense with the dark arts.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Is the best defense is a good offense. Okay, all right, go on. Still, no, this is bad. People almost died.
It is very bad, yes. And yet we have it, so can't be that bad.
Is this a particularly hard? Is this a particularly complicated spell? Like above what a student would be able to cast?
Yes. So it is difficult to cast, and it is what's the word I'm looking for? Difficult to control if you can cast it. And you have to have like whereas the Patronus charm, you have to have like a happy thought. Like you have to have very negative seated feelings in your heart in order to be able to conjure this. And it manifests with, you also need that object. You need that ironwood object of some sort.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, I'm out of adversity tokens, but would I know if there's a spell that you could locate who owns something? Like if I found a lost object, would I know a spell that would tell me who it belonged to?
Roll brains for me.
15.
15? That's a good roll.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
A magic theory.
Yeah, you can try. Like, we'll say you know a spell, and you can try and see who this might belong to. How would that spell manifest for you?
So I think I would I would put the spider in my hand. I would circle it 3 times and say whatever the incantation is. Find its onerous, and the spider would float in the air and like sort of like a compass, like just be a little bit like above where my hand is, and just like point in the direction of
Okay.
who wants it.
Roll charm to see if this spell is activated.
2.
Okay. So take an adversity token. You cast this spell that you've never cast before, so you're a little like, I think this is how it works. The spider rises up and ignites in black flame, and you move your hand out of the way because it's hot, and the whole thing just turns to ash, and you seem to have lost your spider.
Oh,
Well, I had a theory.
it's a good theory.
Scooping up them ashes. This is so much more useful to me now as ash than it ever was as a wood spider.
Celine Dion plays in the background.
The arms of the angels.
1985.
That was
How
a
many-
very clever use of the navigation spell there, Matthew.
I kind of imagine that one's Patronus is a bit like the wizard zodiac, and that you can tell certain things about a wizard by what their Patronus is. Could I possibly consult that and figure out what kind of wizard would have a spider as a Patronus?
Okay. Yeah, roll some flight for divination.
I'm getting my mileage out of my flight dice, you guys. Oh, that did not go in there at all. All right, 15.
15. There is probably, like, you think somebody like Snape, like a lot of Slytherins might have a spider. You think that maybe the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher kind of has that like spidery vibe.
Is he
He's
Slytherin?
He is Slytherin, yes.
Mm.
But that is also a 60% clear, 40% guess, as the stones are not the clearest they could be, or your sticks or whatever you're dropping, kind of a thing.
I just now decided that one of her parents is a weatherman. A weather
That makes so much sense, and I love it. But yeah, it's of the people on the school, definitely 3 Slytherins could have this, and you think it could be specifically Jacob Scythe, who is a Slytherin friend of yours, or is somebody in Slytherin that you know, Snape, or maybe the Professor Gregory, the Defense Against the Dark Arts professor. But Jacob is a 4th year and probably not able to cast this spell. Snape has been a professor here for a long time, could probably cast this spell, but what reason does he have? And the Professor Gregory, who is the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, is new this year, and so you don't really know much about him.
Okay. All right. Interesting. I explain this to everybody, but I do so in a very mysterious way.
Eyes roll back in your head, and then there was.
So we're 3rd years, right?
You are 3rd years, yeah.
And as 3rd years, we would just be learning the Patronus charm.
Yes.
So we would be doing that under Professor What's-His-Face's
Yeah.
tutelage.
Yes.
Have we ever seen his Patronus?
No.
Whenever he demonstrated? Oh.
No, he did more of the. No, he never showed it off, because it was like, repeat after me. Here's the charm, and you guys would attempt it with like buggerts and things like that. So.
I mean, it seems a little on the nose. But should we tell someone about this or confront him?
I feel like at
Some-
this point, we'll get in more trouble if we tell them that we've had this thing. Snape's very smart. He'd probably put 2 and 2 together that... I mean, I do really want to actually complete that music potion, but...
Well, good. I mean, do you want to hurry up and get some? Well, you have all week.
I have all week.
Should we tell Dumbledore?
Are you on a first-name basis with that guy?
No.
I'm not either.
His Dumbledore's his last name.
Dumbledore's his last name.
I thought his first name was Headmaster.
No. That's no.
Like she and Ravenclaw, I'm not.
But that was a good thought, Tabitha.
The only name that I know about Dumbledore is that, like, somewhere I was reading Hogwarts: A History, and sometime between my first and second time reading this, apparently one of his middle names is Brian.
What?
Brian.
Right?
That is really weird.
So does he have 2 first names?
I think he has 5 names.
Albus Brian Dumbledore.
That's ridiculous.
Sounds made up.
And I know another one of his name is Wulfric, but I can't remember what either the second or fourth name is. Anyway.
Brian.
I think we're getting a little distracted here. Aren't you guys trying to be heroes or something?
What?
Do we tell Dumbledore, or do we confront the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, whose name I keep forgetting?
Gregory
Casimir.
Crisper.
I want you to think about what you just said.
Confront the professor.
About it.
Clem.
Matthew, roll brains for me as you're flipping through Hogwarts: A History.
20.
Oh, wow. So you're flipping through this trying to look for Dumbledore's middle names. And you open it up to a section on the Forbidden Forest. And you notice that it lists all of the different types of trees that are in the Forbidden Forest. And one of them is an ironwood tree, is hidden deep within the forest.
And Dumbledore was just telling people to stay out of the Forbidden Forest.
Yes. But he always says that, to be honest. Like, you've heard that every year. You've been at Hogwarts multiple times a year. Got to get rid of those, like, fifth years that go in there to drink.
I mean, who would have all the professors would have access to the Forbidden Forest.
But, as I hold up Mousy, only specialists go in for specialized plants.
So you're thinking it was. Are you thinking it was the potions master?
I don't know.
It's not Snape. It couldn't be him. He's a really good guy.
Right.
But the thing is, if I
See,
can go in the forest to get Mousy, who else can go in the forest just to get some ironwood?
I mean, any of the teachers and anyone who's clever enough to not get caught.
To be fair, if Ellen can do it, anybody can.
Do we want to get the ironwood, or do we want to find the person who had the ironwood previously?
What would we do with the ironwood?
I don't
It's
think
not what
we
we
wanna
wanna
get
do.
caught with ironwood.
We
I'm not getting this pinned on me.
There are 2 Ravenclaws here, so if anything, we would lose more points in the House Cup than you would. We have more at stake here.
Hufflepuff doesn't even place.
See?
You might place this year.
That'd be
If we get caught.
If we get caught, there is a good chance. But say that the
I
person
don't care about the house cup. I care
Are
about
we-
living.
we had the ironwood thing, it burned. That means that whoever had it before doesn't have it. And if they want to do it again, they're going to have to get more ironwood. Now, what better time to go and get ironwood than right after Dumbledore says, "No going into the woods, don't find the ironwood that's hidden there."
I don't think he said that, Tabitha, but
I don't either. We didn't go to the meeting.
We wouldn't know.
You know what I think? I think that whoever used this thing didn't want to be found, and so they set the thing to self-destruct. Whoever is doing this is capable of some really powerful magic.
So will we need to get a very powerful person to stop them, or do we think that we can go into the forest and take care of whoever this person is?
Lemnicy's pretty powerful.
True, but not that powerful.
That's so soft short.
I mean, with the three of us backing you up, Clemency, we could, help.
I believe in
You're
you,
not going to
Clemency.
drop this, are you? She says
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm only going to go back in there to find the Ironwood because I've never seen Ironwood, and I found Mousy that way.
I'm only coming to make sure that you don't have something happen to you.
Okay.
All right.
It's not like I like you or anything, Baka.
All right, so Forbidden Forest. Is that our
Is that
current
the
plan?
attack?
Into the woods.
Anything could happen in the woods. Now, normally, we do have a 5 to 10 minute break. So would this be a good time for that, Jordan?
Yeah, it'd be a great time.
All right,
Let's
awesome.
do it.
So we're gonna have
Break.
a 5 to 10 minute break. So don't go no place.
Cast a break spell.
So don't go no place. We're gonna try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, unless you happen to grab a drink, grab a food, grab a friend, bring them right back, and we will be right here. So we'll see you guys soon. All right, everybody. Reparo! That is the spell that is used to repair broken objects. So the stream break is done. Oh yeah, I forgot to use my wand, which is actually just a level. So Reparo. There, I've cast the spell.
What's that Simpsons episode where everybody has like a fancy bat because Homer's got this like lightning bat? He's like, my bat's an old wooden leg. Like, my wand is a level.
My wand's a level. That is 3 different directions. But yes, we are choosing to go out into the Forbidden Forest. Was that the decision that we came to? Yes.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Excellent. You guys set off for the Forbidden Forest. The blah, 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 words. The Forbidden Forest is on the other side of the Quidditch field. So you guys have to walk by the Quidditch field to get there.
On the way there, I make everybody drink tea and read their tea leaves just to see if anybody's gonna die.
All right.
Well, what do we do with the cups whenever we're done?
Give them to me, idiot.
But after that,
To me! They're my cups!
They're very pretty.
I will finish most of my tea, but I have a little vial that I pour some into. Hey man, I gotta. Who knows? Maybe kombucha later.
You're 14!
butterbeer's a thing.
11.
11 is what you rolled.
Yes.
Let's see. It looks like Tabitha is. Her tea leaves do not look very good.
This was delicious, by the way. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's got the grim.
Or it could be a plant.
Well, tea leaves are plants, Clemeny.
Mouse?
Oh, Mousy's included.
Results unclear.
All right, and so you guys march on rather than reading more tea leaves for the next 3 hours. You guys march on. You get close to where the accident happened at the Quidditch field, and you kind of do some sleuthing around. Everybody roll brains for me.
7.
A 4.
7, 4,
5.
5, and Brainy McMatthew.
7.
7. All right. So Elle and Matthew, you guys notice that the spider didn't seem to start from inside this underneath, like you kind of assumed that it had. That the spider just kind of grew and flames and stuff. There's actually footprints, and they could be spider footprints, or they could be random animal footprints, but they're definitely going from the rubble directly into the Forbidden Forest.
Do we follow them, or do we?
Adventure. As I go forward.
What, Elle? Why do your tea leaves always come up as flowers?
I don't know. Maybe I just have a very flowery personality.
Makes too much sense.
Which flowers are they? You could be trying to do some like flower language.
Hmm.
I don't know what flowers are.
Well, if they're irises, they're, all right. But if they're foxgloves, they're not all right.
Okay, I was trying to do a little like cutaway joke, but this is going on for too long.
I didn't know you could read.
All right, so we're following the footsteps.
Following the footsteps.
Yep.
All right. You guys reach the edge of the Forbidden Forest where you are not allowed to be, and you guys take a step in. And it is dark, even though it's probably like a little bit in the afternoon because it was a morning Quidditch game and stuff like that, and you guys spent some time in the library. But the trees are so thick that as you step in, it just gets darker and darker as you kind of walk towards the Forbidden Forest. The footsteps get harder to follow, so I need everybody to make brains check again as you're trying to follow these footprints.
This is 7.
7, 6,
3.
2, and a 3. All right. So Indoor, you are Tabitha. You are leading the charge with a 7, and you think you know. Oh, and I should say, sorry, Matthew L and Clemency take adversity tokens, but Indoor, Tabitha, words. You're leading the charge, and you guys walk for quite a bit into the forest. I will say, like. Well, not quite a bit, like 10 minutes or so deep into the forest. And you come across an old ironwood tree. And there is definitely a huge branch that seems to have been like lightninged down off. And somebody's been hucking like chunks of it out, like sawing off bits of this branch. And there are shavings all around the floors and things like that of this place.
Right, collect some.
Disrespectful. As I just pat the tree gently. It's okay.
I'm definitely going to collect some shavings.
Okay. Yeah, they're dark wood. They're dense, so they're even though they're like light shavings, they're still heavier than they look.
Okay.
But you collect some shavings and stuff, and so but it looks like somebody was in here in the woods whittling something.
Do these
And
look
definitely two distinct places. Like there was a wood shaving, like a whittling pile to your left, and then also to the right there's like another whittling pile. So either somebody moved mid-whittle or they whittled two different things.
And does it look recent, this whittling? Like one was done like today versus the day before?
Make a brains roll.
Okay. I'm going to stop rolling that dice. That's a 4.
Take an adversity token. You're not sure. It's hard to tell, mostly because they're just like wood shavings on top of the leaves and other things that are debris on the floor. And so it's like, could have been a week, could have been an hour. You're not really sure with a 4. Yeah.
Could I start looking around with my treasure hunter strength and see if maybe I can find like a piece of fabric of clothing that tore off a person while they were exiting this area? Because we are in the Forbidden Woods, so I assume there'd be something pokey that could tear a clothing.
Okay. So you spend an adversity token to look for that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you find two things. Clemency is just all over the place.
Sorry. Ignore me.
Ignore me. You find two things. You find a knife that someone was using to whittle. And it is a very sharp knife, and it seems magic because it can cut through this really tough ironwood pretty easily. And you find a black scrap of cloth that looks like it belongs to a scarf.
And then, and that she's gonna go back over to the rest of the group and be like,
I found these. There's a piece of a scarf and this knife.
What? So we can tell that it's been two distinct carving places. So whoever came and did this probably would have carved a second spider.
Or something else. Something
A dragon.
worse. L. Why put that into the world?
That's there now. I can try the tracking spell again. I realize it has an actual. There's an actual incantation to it.
I'll hand you the
No
knife.
offense, but can I try scrying with the scarf first?
Yeah. Roll a flight.
I'd like to attempt to scry. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, this is Prefect Jane's scarf from Hufflepuff.
Oh, fuck. I think that sometimes she like puts on a show and like will roll her eyes back in her head, but this time her eyes actually glow briefly.
Wow, Clem. Your
You're
powers
right.
getting pretty good.
This belongs to Jane.
Jane.
Why was she here? I thought she was going to the professor's office.
Well, who does the knife belong to? I don't think Jane's gonna be running around with this kind of thing.
I'll try the tracking spell again.
All right. And what did we decide that was? Or what kind of magic do you feel it is? Tracking. Tracking would be...
I feel like it's a.
Is it
I want to say it's a charm.
It's got to be charms or divination, I think.
Okay. I'm better at divination, so I would very much like it to be that.
We'll say divination. Yeah, because I think I made you do charms last time, because most spells are charms, but we'll try. This feels like a divination spell.
Okay. 1.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a knife to fly. It's not going to end well.
The knife floats up into the air, and you are very lucky, but it shoots off into a random direction in front of you, back towards Hogwarts, and it goes very fast and very hard into the woods, and you hear somebody in the woods seems to like fall over.
Go,
Not putting this one on me.
Yeah, go.
We're running towards the grunt.
Okay.
I'll cast the disillusionment charm on all of us as we're just kind of, let's go.
What does that do, Elle?
It hides objects and humans.
Do you want to be hidden, or do you want to find out what this is? Or do you want to be hidden from it as you approach it? Is that kind of the idea?
Oh no, what do we want, guys?
I think the being
I
hidden.
want to make sure this guy's all right. I kind of stabbed him.
We're hidden as we approach the guy
How
Matthew
many
stabbed.
house points will we lose for stabbing somebody?
All of them.
All of them.
Excuse me. Sorry. So you guys rush up. Elle quickly casts this charm so that you're somewhat hidden. And as you part ways and look down, you see Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, Professor Gregory Krismere, with a knife in his gut on the ground in a lot of pain.
Heal this one,
Professor?
I'm gonna spend 2 adversity tokens to go unseen.
Okay. You are unseen.
Professor, what?
Matthew, is that you?
Uh,
Did you throw this knife?
Throwing is not accurate.
What are you doing in the Forbidden Forest?
I was trying to figure out who was doing the.
He was helping me, Professor, as I step up.
Oh, Elle, help you do what? You guys shouldn't be here. Oh, I'm really bleeding. This is really painful.
Maybe we should get you to the hospital, Professor.
Disillusionment charm, Homer into the bushes. Just
Can you stand? Can we?
Find your own butt.
I don't think I could stand. You might have to go get help and bring it here.
Oh,
And
hold
quickly.
on. I'll cast my Patronus charm to send a message to whoever receives them at the hospital.
Okay. Yeah, I won't even make you roll for this. So because you're not under any like pressure or stress right now. So you cast your spell and it runs off towards the castle.
It's your Patronus.
I forget what the bird's called, but it's the bird with the really wide mouth and bug eyes.
Oh, I know the one. The one that looks
That's
like
awesome.
a muff.
Yeah.
a
Muppet
nightjar.
bird. Looks at you and then like flies off. That's fantastic. Not going to be creepy at all as it appears in the medical wing.
It's got bright yellow eyes.
But yeah, Gregory is clutching his stomach. He's like, I think it's wise to leave the knife in. If you, in a wound like this, they always say, right? And he's kind of like his getting a little woozy. What do you guys want to do?
Could I possibly have some kind of like healing potion?
Do you have Dittany?
I have what?
Dittany.
Is that a spell?
It's a potion.
Oh,
Yeah, Tabitha. Jeez, you didn't know that.
I make my own potions. I don't play by the rules. But would I possibly have something like this on hand?
Roll brains and roll high, and we'll see if you have prepped this.
Okay, because I do have my
Because brains is potions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yes.
And with skilled at, it is assumed I succeed on anything 9 or less, but this is probably higher than that.
No, actually, it was 9 is what the number in my head. So
Nice.
you, because of your skill, is that it?
Yeah, my skilled
Potion?
at.
Okay,
strength.
yeah. So we'll say you have this. So how do you succeed? What do you want to do?
So I am going to then emerge back out of the bushes that I had hid myself in and say,
Oh my god, Elle, I can't believe I thought we lost. Oh, Professor, how did this happen?
and I'm going to...
Tabitha.
Lay still, Professor. Here, drink this.
and I'll give him the health potion.
I think we leave it in. I'm really not the best at medicine. But I think for the potion to work, we have to take it out.
Can I use an intuitive thing to actually figure out how to apply Dittany?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you also intuitive? Same hat.
Why are we the same person?
I don't know.
So I'll take out the knife and start pouring the Dittany on the wound.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Tabitha, although you've made a really great potion, you were like, do I feed it to him? Do I I don't know, do we power of Christ compels you, sprinkle you, or like.
Hope for the best, really.
So Matthew, you remove the thing, and his wound like kind of heals. And he's like, "Oh, thank you. Well, that doesn't explain what you guys are doing here. What are you doing in the Forbidden Forest?"
We were trying to figure out who conjured the, is it Tenebrous Ignis?
Yeah, Tenebrous Ignis. And he says, "Oh, children, that's far too dark of a spell for you to be meddling with. You shouldn't have gone after the person that conjured that. The powerful dark magic. I'm pretty sure we need to return home as soon as possible."
What were you doing out here, Professor?
Well, I too have been charged by Headmaster to figure out who cast that spell, and I'm trying to trace the ironwood back into the forest, and that's why I'm here.
Professor, I have a question.
Yes.
Is that your knife?
And he looks down and he's like, "No."
All right.
Can I use an intuitive die?
What's a good intuitive die for this?
Well, I mean, I would use my intuitive to burn a.
To burn a thing? To do, what do you want to know?
Is he lying?
He seems to be telling the truth. And as he says that it is not his knife, you hear some rustling as someone's running towards you guys from the direction that the Patronus went, back from Hogwarts.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Somebody's coming, Professor. I sent a message ahead.
Who's coming?
And you say, do you say that? Do you call out, or are you guys just remaining quiet?
I was just going to remain quiet.
Okay.
I'm staying hidden from everybody.
You see a light coming from a wand, and it's kind of hard to make out who the person is, but they walk towards, and it's Hufflepuff Prefect Jane. As she walks in, and she's just like, "I saw your Patronus. Is everything okay, children? You shouldn't be in the Forbidden Forest."
I'll look to Clemency. Are you sure that's hers?
I'm still in the bushes.
Just speak towards a bush.
Where'd you go? Oh, hello. I trust
And the professor turns to her, still on the ground, and is just like, "Oh, Jane, thank goodness you're here." And Jane says, "Yes, thank goodness you're here. Stupefy!" And like hits him with a spell, and he goes flying back as she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a little wooden carved rat.
That's cute. Jane.
Can I try to disarm her?
You can. Roll defense against the dark arts, which is fight.
Fight.
And I'm going to roll her defense.
Okay.
Ooh, I rolled a 6.
I rolled an 11.
All right. So you succeed, and her wand goes flying out from her hand. And she's still holding on to the thing. And she's like, "You should have never came here. All of you, if you would have just left me alone." And she whispers into the rat's ear that she's holding. And the whole thing ignites in flames, and she tosses it down in front of you.
Jane.
Aguamenti!
All right, I'm going to roll some defense. Roll transmutation, which is grit, I believe.
Oh, wait, yeah. Wrong dice.
Nope, it is brawn. Transfiguration.
Why did it have to be brawn? Oh, I'm not as good at that. Oh, but it explodes.
Ooh.
For 8.
8. I rolled an 11. So you hit this thing, and steam starts billowing out, and the next thing you know, this entire area is full of steam. But as the steam gets bigger and bigger and bigger, your water spell stops, and you look in, and the steam kind of dissipates, and you see a huge head of a giant rat in black flame in front of you. As it runs straight towards you, I need you to roll flight for me to dodge out of the way.
Oh, thank God. I thought you said, I thought I looked at fight. That was the wrong
Nope,
dice.
flight.
Oh, thank God. That's a 9.
A 9. Okay, I rolled, so take an adversity token, and you should have taken one earlier for the other one as well.
Yep.
The thing tackles you. It jumps on top of you, knocks you flat on your back. You're still holding onto your wand, but you have like flames kind of reaching across your body, and you are in serious pain right now.
Well, that's hot.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
So at Jane, I'm going to cast the Bat Bogey Hex.
Okay, what does that do?
It causes the victim's bogies to enlarge, grow rings, and attack the victim.
Fantastic. Roll fight for me.
Fight. Okay.
Ooh, and I rolled a 7.
I will spend... Oh, I'll just match. Okay. 5 of my grit points to equal 7.
5 of your adversity tokens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
So at a 7 goes. It's still. Well, no, we'll call it a success because you spent so much of that. So, or do you have any more tokens that you could spend?
No, I spent all 5.
Okay, you spent all of them. So, you knock her back. She has no wand really to deflect itself, so it would just be her like running out of the way. She gets knocked back by this hex, and you said is it bogies? Is there boogers?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? They grow.
Yeah.
So these things grow out of her nose and start like becoming little cat-sized things, and they just start like slapping her in the face, and she's just like, what is happening? Meanwhile, this rat on fire is on top of poor Tabitha. Matthew and Hidden Clemency, what are you guys doing?
I would very, very much like to try to conjure a Patronus.
All right, roll fight or charm, whichever is higher.
11.
11. So you succeed and you conjure a Patronus. What does your Patronus look like?
My Patronus looks like a bear standing on 2 legs with a very tiny top hat.
Oh no!
And what does this bear do to the rat?
The bear sort of runs up and tries to tackle this rat and push it off of Tabitha.
Okay, so it does that. So you tackle this rat, it flies off of Tabitha, and you have protected Tabitha from any more flames and pain. But Tabitha, you're seriously burned. You need medical attention.
Oh yeah.
Clemency, what are you doing?
Clemency is scared to death, and she is trying to summon a Patronus.
Okay, roll fight or charm, whichever one is higher.
All right. Oh! I got max on my D8, so it explodes, right?
Yep. So roll it again and add to the next one.
All right, so 8 plus 6 is a number. Hold on, I can do this. I'm having a real bad case with the number brain tonight. 15.
14.
Because I get a plus 1.
You get a plus 1, so 15. Yeah. Great. So yes, you succeed. What does your Patronus look like?
It's a jellyfish.
Oh.
Yes.
It floats through the air and just starts putting its flowy tentacles all up on that rat.
Yeah. So the rat is now being held by the wrists from this tentacle beast, and it's fighting it and what have you. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm going over to check on the professor to see if he's okay.
And he is. He's a little stunned, he's out, but he's breathing.
Solid. I'll summon my Patronus as well. Get that bat in there.
Join the Patronus gang.
All the Patronuses.
No, that's a 4.
Yeah, 4. No, so take an adversity token. You try as hard as you can, and a little bit of the Patronus shield comes out and kind of protects you and the professor. But you're protected maybe if this rat tries to attack you again. But the rat seems more interested in the Patronuses that he's fighting against. So Matthew, he rears up and being held by this jellyfish, kicks his feet up and pushes your bear. I want you to roll flight for me.
Light. Okay.
Flight. Yep.
3.
Okay. So I rolled an 8. So take an adversity token. He hits your bear and it flies all the way back, hitting a tree and your bear is now like 20 feet from the rat, being held by this tentacled jellyfish. What do you want to do?
I want to conjure some water and spritz the rat.
Okay. Roll. I always forget.
I think it's
where I
brawn
wrote this. Brawn. Yeah, transfiguration.
1.
Okay, take an adversity token. Steam, but not enough. Elle, what are you doing with all of this mess?
As I'm letting the hex just occupy Jane, I'm gonna point to the rat and say, Levi Corpus! And a spell that causes the victim to be dangled upside down by their ankles.
Okay, for the rat, sweet.
Mhm.
What did we roll for the last time we did this? I forget.
I don't know. I can't,
All right.
I think.
What do you want to roll?
Oh.
I think it's going to be charms, brawn, or fight.
I'll roll brawn since
Okay.
I'm a bit more experienced in that. Yeah, no, 4.
Okay, 4. Yeah, so you try again, take an adversity token, but it raises up just a little bit and then comes back down. The rat is going to turn, still being held by this jellyfish, and start pummeling on your jellyfish. I want you to make a grit roll for your jellyfish.
That's fine. Okay, 7.
All right, I rolled a 2. So you succeed. So as he's pummeling, he's just getting more and more wrapped up by tendrils, and he's just being held. What do you guys want to do? Who said? There's not really initiative, so just jump in if you want to do something.
I want to get my bear buddy back in the action.
All right, what is he gonna do?
Yeah, he's gonna run up and try to just like start clawing at the rat if it's being held up. Was that successful or not? I think it was. So yeah, it's just gonna run up and like try to claw it.
Okay, roll fight for me.
2.
A 2? I rolled a 1. So he starts clawing at this thing. The rat does not look very good, and he's very like being held. You think a little bit of water would probably extinguish him at this point.
That seems much easier than what I was thinking about doing, so I'm just going to do that instead.
Okay.
I leap into the open mouth of the rat and sacrifice myself.
Yeah, I'm going to actually. Would Accio? What would I roll for an Accio spell?
That's a charm, isn't it?
Probably a charm. Yeah.
All right. So it's actually going to be like I have a higher chance of doing this. So I'm going to run on the opposite side of where the jellyfish and the bear is.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and Accio the knife and see if the knife will shoot into the wooden mouse.
Okay.
Or into the wooden rat.
I like this idea. All right, we're gonna say DC 7.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
That is a 1.
Oh.
I'm going to use...
Everybody
yeah.
can spend adversity tokens if you wanted this to survive. You guys can help out other people with adversity tokens.
I have 5 adversity tokens that I would like to throw down on this, so I'm at a 6.
Does anybody else?
I will
want
throw down. It's a DC 7, right?
Yep, DC
Okay,
7.
1 is already rolled into the ether.
You need to make it an 8 for it to really succeed, though.
I'll throw 2.
Okay. Awesome. Best use of adversity tokens ever. So this knife hits the wood on the inside of this like flaming creature, and you hear like a dink as it gets shot out, and the flames just dissipate as this wooden rat goes dink, dink, dink. Meanwhile, Jane is like fighting these giant boogers that are slapping her face, and she's trying to like, what's going on? I don't like this at all. That's what she says, because I'm a really good DM.
Because I don't like Jane, and she's betrayed the house. I'll just go stupefy.
Okay, yeah, and I won't make you roll because we're kind of out of combat now, and so she gets all rigid. Your friend Tabitha needs some help, though.
Oh, hold on. Oh, come on. I've got something. I got something. I just kind of pull out my bag, and I have the prepared skill.
Okay.
Pull out some stuff. Okay, I got this, I think. That's I flip through a book. Okay, this is how we do it. Okay. And I cast the Ipski spell. It heals minor injuries. And then take out some, like, binding cloth or whatever and just say, there. Stick it on her.
All right. She probably still needs to go to the hospital wing, but you are like out of danger now. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go running off into the woods to try and find our professor.
Oh, he's still there. He was just stupefied and like got flung to the side, but
he's also been stabbed.
No, you healed that.
Yeah.
Oh,
we fixed his stab wound. Yes.
Yeah. He used the magical potion to heal it. Yeah.
Magic sure is wonderful, isn't it?
It's the best, isn't it?
I'll go over to the professor and cast the Renovate spell to get him out of the stunning spell, or...
Yes, the stupefy hex that knocked
Yeah.
him out. Yeah. So he wakes up. Oh. But there was in the woods and someone was, and then I was stabbed, but then you healed. What is happening?
Jane tried.
We did it!
You did what exactly?
I'll just point over to Jane, still getting attacked by the hex.
Oh. And so he said, are you insinuating that it was Jane that caused our anti-Patronus?
We found her scarf, sir. We found part of her scarf over by the ironbark tree.
She also attacked you.
It's true. Good. 10 points to Ravenclaw, Matthew. Good job. The professor gets up. He walks over to Jane and casts Levi Corpus, and Jane's like petrified body like lifts up into the air. And he's like, well, we'll have to take her to the dungeon. I think I should escort the rest of you to the medical wing. If we're done here, which I believe we are. And thank you again, Matthew, for your quick... Thank you, Tabitha, for your potion. And thank you, Matthew, for knowing exactly how to use that potion. Again, another 10 points to Ravenclaw.
Clemency's just standing in the back with her jellyfish Patronus up, like holding it up with her wand like it's an umbrella, and she's just like...
Should have been in Ravenclaw.
You guys go walking back to... it's now... The sun is setting. It's getting darker, but you get back to Hogwarts. He escorts you to the medical wing, and they take Jane somewhere else where they're trying to figure out what to do with her. You are all being healed and kind of being checked over. Even the ones that didn't have any problems, they're worried that you might have gotten burned or something, so they're kind of trouble checking you. While you're in the medical wing, Dumbledore walks in, and he's just like, well, what a wonderful set of third years to save our school. Good job, children. He says, I understand, Elle, that you cast some very powerful healing magic to save a certain Tabitha.
I tried.
And I understand, Matthew, you saved our professor with some quick knowledge about some healing magic.
Right, there's nothing else to that story at all.
After a stray knife went out, and he kind of like takes his, and he goes like this with his nose. He gives you a quick wink.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the entirety of that story.
Tabitha, I hear you were quick with your potion making skills, and I won't say fool, but got Professor Snape to grant you some access to the Forbidden Library.
I'm gonna try and get people to learn how to play music easily, sir.
I think that's a grand plan and a good use of your magic. And Clemency, you have a wonderful Patronus, and you battled and took care of a piece of dark magic that I think no Slytherin could have done better. So congratulations.
Clemency just sort of shrugs and looks at her shoes.
He says, I trust that I won't find you jaunting off to the Forbidden Forest anymore, because, as the name implies, it is forbidden.
Yes, sir.
Of course.
No promises.
And with that, Dumbledore, With that, Dumbledore walks out and he turns around and he says, great job, and thank you again for helping us. And he walks out. And that is where we will end our game of Kids with Wands.
Yes! This is awesome. Thank you so much for running this.
Oh, absolutely. If anybody's curious, I'm sure on the VOD or somewhere in the chat, maybe we can put the link to the PDF. So you can buy Kids on Bikes, and then it's a free PDF that I wrote for Kids on Wands that you can try and use if you want to play this.
Yes. And I will post the referral link that you have up on the...
It really is a fun system. It's really great for storytelling, I think. And just like not necessarily leveling up and hit points and all that other jazz, but if you want to tell just a fun story. So yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I had a lot of fun.
This was awesome.
Having me on.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. So we're gonna be doing our sign out. So Jordan, where can we find you? What do you do?
I am on YouTube mostly. I do occasionally stream on Twitch, but I'm mostly a YouTube guy. But you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/Jordan with a PH in the middle. And I do Forgotten Realms lore and history. So I make videos that help dungeon masters play games in the Forgotten Realms. It's really awesome. So I have a lot of fun doing it. So I hope you enjoy it.
Of course. Cyberwolf, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me on Twitter, where I am a wonderful, wonderful shit poster at Cyberwolf1201. Sometimes I post about whenever I'm going live on twitch.tv/Cyberwolf1201, where I play video games badly and talk about lore, because I love me some lore. VODs of that go to a YouTube link, which does not have a fun URL, but there you can also find the podcast that Kyle with an N and I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, talk about the games that we did, and do parkour sometimes. Yeah.
I need to check that out. That sounds awesome.
Nobody asked for it. But for other role-playing stuff, you can find me on some great role-playing channels like Indoor Adventures. That's it. But you can find me in the Monday game, where I play Arjan, the Black Dragonborn Blood Hunter, and now Cleric. And also on the Thursday night Ghost of Saltmarsh game, where I play Albus, the Kalashtar Bard. So it's a fun time.
Yes.
Thank you so much for inviting me indoor, and thank you so much for running it, Jordan.
You're welcome.
I'm so happy to finally play a game with you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. All right, and Jen, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me over at Twitter at LaughMakerDND. I DM every other Thursdays over at the RPG Lab, and I'm over at the SS Adventures on Sundays playing a halfling sorcerer.
All righty. And Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. You can find drawings of mostly things about D&D and also things from this channel. And gosh, I'm completely mixed up. I usually have a spiel for this. But you can find me at DanaeKeener.com. Woo!
All right. And if you have made it this far into the episode, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hey buddy, how's it going? It's me, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at Indoor Adventures, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mondays we have our homebrew campaign that I DM from here, I guess. I don't know why I said from. Tuesdays we have our Curse of Strahd game that Danae actually runs, and I just get to be a player in. Wednesday, you can find us here doing community one-shots on One Shot Wednesday. So if you would like to play, just shoot me a DM, and that's out to anybody. I like playing games in weird systems, and this is the perfect opportunity for me to do so. And Thursdays, we have Ghosts of Saltmarsh. So We are just getting to the end of the sinister secret of Saltmarsh, so if you're in chapter 1 as well, possibly come by and check it out. Other than that, we have a Patreon set up for Indoor Adventures where you can go and check that out, where we have our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community at large. So if anybody had any questions, or players, if you have any questions for each other, that is a perfect opportunity to check that out. So we are going to be going into that. Jordan, thank you so much for running Kids with Wands. This was great. I'm proud to be a Ravenclaw, even though I couldn't wear my scarf because of the heat. But with that, we will see all you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.